Assalamualaikum, selamat sejahtera and salam satu Malaysia. I wish to all the audience who are following the interview program this morning at Main Bulletin TV6. Based on Malaysia's message on April 2, 2021, the number of offenders violating the Standard Operating Procedure SOP of the Movement Control Order PKP nationwide yesterday jumped again with 100 individuals arrested. Senior Security Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the number had risen sharply compared to only 2 individuals arrested yesterday and 9 individuals on Tuesday. Of the total, a total of 91 individuals were compounded while the remaining 9 offenders were remanded, he said in a press statement on April 2. The highest number of cases was failure to comply with the physical distance of 89 individuals, followed by the offence of trying to cross the area without permission by 10 cases, and another was other offence. To explain this issue further on this matter, with our 3 panel this morning is Yang Berhormat Dato' AIMAN SHAHMI as first panel, and second panel Yang Berhormat Dr. HAMDAN, and our third panel Yang Berhormat Prof. Datin HIDAYA. Good morning, Datuk, Dr. and Datin.
Assalamualaikum, hello everyone, I'm Dr. AIMAN. In my opinion regarding the SOP violation, the authority need to be fair and trustworthy in the compound individual without countering ordinary people and the high income group. Data show until March 14, a total of 458 citizens have been compounded for not complying with the SOP. My main point is there are people who somehow manage to not get a compound even though they did not follow the SOP. The kind of situation happen due to the action of the authority. They are inconsistent in enforcing SOP complaint. There is a double standard between ordinary people and the high income group. The high income group takes such a long time to get a compound, as the authority will first open the investigation paper, and this will cause some people to feel unfair. So while ordinary people will easily get a compound.
Okay, my name is YB Prof. Datin HIDAYA bin ZAINUDIN. So, my reaction to this SOP violation is there are a handful of individuals who deliberately start ignoring about SOP. Complaints including ignoring whether body temperature is screened or not, or contact record taken or not. So, the compound value of 4 offences of violating the Standard Operating Procedure PKP of the Movement Control Order PKP has now been increased from 1,000 to 10,000. The decision to increase the value of the compound in any way is not to punish the public excessively or allow the government to collect money from the public, but it is simply to make people aware the virus is still everywhere in case our people forget.
Hello, I am Dr. HAMDAN. In addition to the COVID-19 PKP rules, that's what any individual who come across you wearing pink or white bracelets while hanging out in outdoor or public areas, they must detain the individual first before reporting to the MOHD, so that the individual concerned does not spread COVID-19 virus widely. The 14 days quarantine order at home means sitting at the respective homes during that period without any outside activity, said Malaysia Director General of HIDAYA, Dr. Abdul. He said those who were found out of the house while still in the quarantine period, we are considered to have disobeyed the order. Therefore, action under Act 342 can be imposed. If they have been identified or said to be quarantined at home, it means they have to sit at home. That is, they cannot leave the house. is what we call quarantine. If they get out of the house to go to market and jogging, it's not quarantine. Individual who disobey this instruction can pose a danger to society. The compliance of individual who will quarantine resident to remain at home is highly appreciated by the ministry. Thank you.
I would like to share my reaction too. So I find there are some individuals who fail to comply with SOP. I'm not sure that intentional or unintentional. Among the offences recorded were not wearing face masks, failing to provide self-recording equipment, and customer, for example, not scanning my sejahtera, as well as physical imprisonment. In addition, offences of entertainment centre activities, cross-state without permission, overtime operating premises, and as well as other. Such mistakes should not have happened and are easy to implement. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. The question is, how to make sure this PKP issue will not repeat it again based on Yang Berhormat Datuk, Dr. and Datin's reaction.
Suggestion for improvement in the authority might be fair and square informing their duty. The authority must be show good behavior so people can respect them and obey the law. The law enforcement and punishment also should be like impose quickly and fair on any party that found guilty regardless of their background, skin color, as well their personal status.
Okay, my suggestion is as citizen, we must have a sensitive and caring attitude about the COVID-19 virus, which becoming more prevalent by our adhering to the SOP set by the government and taking care of each other. If the people do not obey the government instruction, then at any time the situation can change to a much worse situation number of positive than before. Hashtag we take care of us.
Station which the issue we as the people need to have the head authorities in the preventing COVID-19, so the people need to immediately report to the authorities if there are few people who do not comply with the SOP, so the case of SOP violence can be reduced. If an individual with a quarantine measure is in a public area, it should be reported to the police to protect the community from the risk of COVID-19 infection. Meanwhile, Dr. Nisham also thanks the community for report to the authorities where they become aware of the presence of individuals with quarantine residents in public place. If those who have difficulty undergoing self-quarantine at home due to constant including not stable space of living with the risk group can contact the National Disaster Management Agency (NADMA) to be considered for quarantine at the institution of public training (IDA) if the environment and space in the home does not have. They can contact NADMA and we will have consider the application to be placed at the LA quarantine center. There are also case from the LA that is one quarantine at home. So we will take into account all aspects, including if the person has discretion and so on, to ensure he or she can undergo quarantine without any problem.
My suggestion on how to make sure this PKP issue will not repeat it again based on my reaction is individuals who fail to comply with the SOP are given a warning the first time and the warning is recorded. If the offence is repeated on the same mistake a second time, will continue to be a subject to compound and fine such as imprisonment. I feel this suggestion can make every individual afraid to unfollow SOP that have been set and can also differentiate individuals who intentionally or unintentionally violate SOP. Thank you Yang Berhormat Datuk, Dr. and Datin for the suggestion. I think all of the suggestions should be proceed. Okay, so Last question for interview morning session on Main Bulletin TV6 is, what positive attribute that Yang Berhormat Datuk, Datin and Doktor get from the PKP issue?
My value is always be responsible when carrying out duty with our embassy and to be honest and loyal to the organization without embossing the power.
Last, the value is we need to work with the government so that we can reduce the prevalence of COVID-19.
We carry the positive attribute as the COVID-19 pandemic is rampant. This is the time for families to get together. For those who are accustomed to praying in congregation as a mosque or surau, we will feel the loss of the atmosphere with other congregation. However, it is the place which their own family members who may have done less before. Imagine the eldest child chanting the call to prayer, and the second child become the prayer leader. And after the prayer, the family prayer as usual. Lot of joy, especially the ethic of the little one who has just learned to pray. It's so sweet to see all the ethic with a sort of the unlearned character out there. Okay, thank you.
Yes, that's true. Thank you Yang Berhormat Datuk, Datin and Doktor for spending some time to record and answer all of the questions. I really appreciate it. So, we as Malaysians must follow the SOP that has been set because it is all for the good of the country and ourselves. Every SOP has a purpose, so we should not intentionally violate it. Thank you. See you on next interview morning session.